Hey, so it's video editing Emily from the future, and I just discovered that apparently I never edited and uploaded my videos for last month. I think what happened is I usually edit and upload in the first couple of weeks, and I was really busy the first couple of weeks of last month, and then in the later weeks I was like, oh yeah, I always edit and upload in the first couple of weeks, I'm good. And apparently I'm not. So this week you're going to be getting the video that you should have gotten last month, and next week you'll get the video that you should be getting this week. Sorry about that, but hey, at least I still have all the footage, right? Hey there, I'm Emily, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the knitting and crochet and spinning and any other kind of yarny related things I get up to in the month of April. So it is currently April 4th, and I'm picking up the first project that I'm going to be working on this month. This is my Casual Friday cardigan. I don't have a pattern that has a picture of the finished, I didn't print the pattern page that had the picture of the finished garment, but if you look in the description box below, I'll have a link to my Ravelry project page, and from there you can see like a link to the pattern and where to get it if you want it and what it's going to look like and all those things. So this is what I'm working on. I am knitting it out of the Knit Picks Stroll Fingering yarn. In the Dove Heather colorway. I know that by heart, but I still wanted to look at it and confirm. It's just a basic kind of heathered neutral gray, which is what I wanted. I picked this one, at least in part, because it's a pretty cheap yarn of the correct weight and fiber content for what I wanted, because this is the first sweater I've knit for myself, so if it turns out to not fit very well, I wanted to do it out of cheap yarn first. It's not my favorite yarn. I find that it's kind of splitty. I don't really like how it's twisted. I prefer my sock yarns with a slightly tighter twist. But anyway, that's beside the point. I'm working on, I just stabbed myself in the mouth with the needle. That was smart. I'm working on this cardigan. Got a back, two fronts, going back and forth. I have another, I'm about 3 inches down from the armhole, and they say to go, the pattern says to go 7 inches, so I've got another 4 inches or so to go, and then I can start some waist shaping. So yeah, I'm working on that. I'm liking it. It's a stockinette body with these seed stitch panels that kind of both help to, I like the way it breaks up the silhouette, but also it's breaks up the tedious back and forth knitting, although that's a pro and a con. On the one hand, it's nice because you're not constantly going back and forth and the exact same thing. But on the other hand, it's a little bit harder to just knit along and not pay too much attention to it. I often knit while I'm reading. In fact, that's what I'm going to go do now. And so this one's perhaps not quite as easy to do, although I do have little stitch markers that I made myself, marking where the stockinette and the seed stitch switch, so I can, knit along and then look down when I hit a marker and see what I need to be doing instead. So anyway, that's what I'm going to get started working on. I'm going to stick my progress keeper a little bit further down, and then hopefully, to be honest, I doubt that I'm going to get the 4 inches that I need anytime soon. These are long rows, and at a certain point I start to get tired of them, but we will see what I get up to the next time you see this. So I'll be back when I'm either switching projects or I have interesting progress on this to show you. And I'm going to go now because apparently it's late and I can't talk. So I'll see you soon. Bye. Alright, so it's been, about 3 weeks since my last video clip? I was going to say update, but it was actually the beginning of the month. Anyway, I've been working on the Casual Friday cardigan, but not a ton. I've recently gotten re-obsessed with my fish tank. I have a 5-gallon with plants and fish in it, and I've been doing a lot of research on redoing the landscape and new plants to get and all this stuff, so I haven't been spending as much time knitting because I've been spending more time researching fish tank stuff. But that's why in 3 weeks I've only gotten about this much done on the cardigan. Granted, these are quite long rows, so it is a fairly decent amount of progress. I am either at or getting really close to the point where I start the waist shaping. To be honest, I was hoping in this time to have gotten through the waist shaping and down to the bottom of the back and finished the body of the cardigan, but obviously that didn't happen. There, now maybe you can see it's the back of a cardigan. So, anyway, that is what I've been working on knitting-wise. Let me show you now the next thing that I'm going to be working on for the tiny bit remaining of this month. So, Jessie Marie Does Stuff is to blame for this. Just saying. She mentioned a website called Book Outlet. They buy like overstocked books and sell them at a quite reasonable price. And they had this book, 100 Snowflakes to Crochet, which I've been wanting to get for quite a while because I have a lot of crochet cotton and I really like the idea of crocheting snowflakes out of it. And a lot of the patterns in this book are actually available for free on Ravelry. Not all of them, but a lot of them. However, I like having them all in one book. It just makes things easy. Plus it has some fairly nifty, where's the one I was going to show you? It has some fairly nifty ideas for like what to do with the snowflakes. So I had this book and I bought it intending to just have it and do later. But because I totally need a new project, no I don't, but I wanted to start this project. So I ended up starting, my plan for right now is to work my way through the entire book, all 100 snowflakes. My mother has, instead of doing a Christmas tree, she does like a winter holiday thing in our bay window. And so my plan when I get done with all of these snowflakes is to give them to her to make like a hanging thing for that. So my plan is to work through the book, pick out which ones I like, so that way and mark them, so that way for later projects I can go directly to the ones that I enjoy doing and that I enjoy the final outcome of. I am doing this out of a, there's no label on this, I've lost the label. It's a size 10 crochet cotton. It's probably Aunt Lydia's because I think that's the brand that Walmart carries, but I don't know for sure, but it's white. And I had a giant ball of it. And I'm using this teeny tiny, actually it's not as teeny tiny as what I'm doing other thread crochet with. It's a 1.9 millimeter vintage boy hook, size 5 in the vintage scale. Yeah, it used to be 25 cents. When I bought more of these, they were like $2 a piece. It's not bad, but they used to be 25 cents. But they're better than what's on the market now. So anyway, I've been working my way through the book. I did start this without you. I was just late at night and I wanted to start it, so I did. And none of the things that I've done so far, sorry, I'm looking for where the names of these ones that I've done are. I haven't woven in ends and I haven't starched them. I will do that kind of in batches. So I've done, this is the first one. This is called Barber. It's fine. And then this is called Frost. I found this one a little bit boring, both in appearance and in doing it. But it'll be nice to have this whole variety for my mom's like hanging display thing. And then I did Stellar Crystal, which is, that's the back of it, I think. Yeah. I like this one a lot, but it really shows if your chains aren't entirely even, because this whole thing will be skewed because of the way the chains did. So you can see all of mine are a little bit skewed. So I'm going to starch it and stretch it so that it's not skewed. Let's see. And then there's Spring Snow. It's another kind of meh one. Like, I don't dislike it, but there's a lot more exciting snowflakes in this book. And then the other one that I really liked so far is Nevada. And it's the first of the ones that have these little like sticky outy bits on the ends of the pointy bits, which I think really captures the look of a typical snowflake. So I like that one. So far these two have been my favorites. You can kind of tell I'm not a huge fan of snowflakes without the, I like my snowflakes pointy and spiky. But I've got, what, 95 more to go, so I'm sure I'll find other ones that I like, and I've been marking the ones that I particularly like in the book, so that way later when I'm going to do a project where I only need 1 or 2 types, I'll go directly to the ones that I like. And when I say I like, I have to both like the outcome and the process of doing them, because there's no point in doing ones where I'm like, this is really boring or this is really obnoxious. This is one of the ones I like, and as I commented, it really shows any issues with your chains not being entirely even, because so these long bits are chained out, and if your chain stitches are not consistent, then it will affect how they look. But even with that, I think that I like the way it looks, and it was fun to do, even if it's not entirely symmetrical yet until I've blocked it. But anyway, so I am 5% of the way through 100 snowflakes to crochet, and I'm probably going to keep working on that. In fact, I'm going to probably work on that right after I get done with this video. No, I'm going to eat and then do errands, and then I'm going to work on it. So anyway, that's what I'm up to, and I will probably be back in a week or so at the end of this month to show you how far I got through that book. Okay, so after I was all like, I'm going to work on this book, I did one snowflake. This is Polar Glacier. Snowflake number, I want to say 6, but I'm not entirely sure. It definitely needs to be blocked. That'll bring these points out and everything will look better, and it's fine. It's not my favorite, but it's fine. I don't have a lot more to say about it, so that is the end of the snowflakes for April. We will see what next month brings. I did have one other project that I worked on that I didn't show you when I got started on it. It's my Hue Shift Afghan, which I tend to work on. I grab it, it's very mindless and easy to do, so I grab it when I'm like playing a role-playing game, or so this project got worked on this month during one Pathfinder session and one improv show. I'm doing it slightly larger than the original Hue Shift Afghan and out of different colors, but otherwise it's the same. Still, I'm using the called for Brava Sport. And if you're interested in what colors I'm using, I'll have a link to this project page in the description box below, and you can see all of the colors there. So I believe that last you saw it, I was about halfway done with this block. I finished it, did this one, and then got about, that's probably 3/4 done with this block in, like I said, one Pathfinder session and one improv show, which pretty good. So I figure I'll probably end up working on that again in the upcoming month, kind of in the same thing. I don't know if I'll actually bring it out to work on, or if I'll just kind of keep it in the background and grab it whenever I'm going to do something where I need something mindless. But anyway, I figured I would show you my progress. I was actually pretty pleased with how much I got done on that. Yeah, I guess I don't have anything else to say for about April. So I guess thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in May. Bye.